Hey, you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Are you okay going by Tom, or do you like Juhong, or what's the best for you?
It doesn't really matter to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we when we get started, can we ask you how you got the name Tom?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All
Sure.
right. AJ, tell me when you're all set,
You're
buddy.
good to go.
Wow, it's funny how
Okay.
someone's talking to me and I have to look here.
All right. We'll get started. I'd like to welcome Juhong Tom Kim. Thanks for joining us here in the virtual interview room. I wanted to have you in just because I think you're a really interesting young player, and a lot of people probably don't know much about you. So, first of all, you go by the name Tom. How did you get the name Tom?
Um, it was actually Thomas. And then I got it from Thomas the Train when I was young, and as I grew older, some people started calling me Tom, and I thought it was just shorter and it was more simple. So I think by the time I was like, I think 11, I went just by Tom, and my brother even calls me Tom. So it was kind of natural, and my family calls me Tom as well. So um, my friends all call me Tom, so it just kind of came natural to me, and it was like kind of a nickname.
Was Thomas the Train a favorite show when you were a youngster?
Definitely, definitely. I had the whole thing. I had the lunchbox, I had the toys, I had the everything. Yeah.
Well, you've had an amazing career for a very young player. At 17, you became the youngest professional to win on the Asian Tour. Just talk about your growth and where you are. You've played the PGA Championship, being the top 100 in the world to get into that tournament, and I know you played at the Safeway Open just a few weeks ago. Just what has those experiences been like on the PGA Tour for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was ever since I started golf. Well, even before, like, I was always watching these majors, PGA Tour events. So it's always been a dream of mine to play on the PGA Tour. And obviously, my first PGA Tour event, well, and it was a major at the PGA Championship. It was a huge experience. Obviously, with the situation that we have right now, there weren't fans allowed to go in. So everyone was telling me that it would have been a different feeling if they were there. But I was really glad. I was just happy to be there. Gave myself a chance to play, and it's definitely different out here from where I play. The conditions, the greens, the fairways, the rough. It's all new, and the pin positions as well. They on the PGA Tour are different from the tours that I play in. So it's definitely a big learning experience for me, a big step. It just shows that how good these players are in these conditions, and to shoot high under pars on tough weeks, and the cuts on majors, the cuts on PGA Tour events. It just shows the difference of the level, and it has been a huge experience for me, and definitely puts a lot of things in practice differently as well, and how I prepare for events, and it just shows that how much that I need to improve as a player, and it's definitely been a journey, and I'm just glad to be here and hopefully to play here full time soon.
You said there's been a number of learning experiences, and is there one specific thing in the two tour events that you've played that you've noticed maybe that other players have done that you've gone, okay, I need to improve in that area? Is there something that stands out?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just taking my medicine a lot. Sometimes you get gnarly lies here, and just with tough pins, it's sometimes you just really have to take your medicine, just kind of punch out sometimes, or just make a good bogey instead of like Safeway. I remember like I shot 5 under the first round, gave myself a good chance, so I kind of felt like I wanted to keep shooting high under pars, and went for a lot of pins when I shouldn't have, and was playing really aggressive, and I feel like sometimes you don't really need to do that, and I feel like I was pushing myself a lot, and I made a lot of soft bogeys, a lot of soft mistakes that didn't really have the week that I wanted. Even on the PGA Championship, just kind of pushing too hard, and just with the conditions, sometimes a soft bogey is okay, but I have sometimes taking trouble with my medicine, and just kind of try to play too aggressive. So just definitely shows. If you see a lot of the best players in the world, sometimes when they just make bogey when they need to, and just walk out of there and just rebound and bounce back. But I couldn't really do that the first two events, so that for me has been a huge experience, and I'm hopefully just try to gain more experience and just show it this week.
Do you have a favorite player on the tour or somebody that you've kind of followed growing up to where you are now?
To be honest, I follow all the guys on the tour. I'm a bit of a golf nerd, so I know a lot about these players. I study a lot about them. I still do, and I've always been a huge fan of Tiger, just because ever since I started golf, I think the first golf tournament I watched um, was Tiger winning the Masters, I think. And actually I saw him in Australia when I was like 6. I think he came to Australia at that time, and I remember he was like a foot away from me, and then I was wearing his cap that was too big for me, but I wanted to wear it just because it was Tiger Woods' cap. I remember just shouting "Go Tiger," and him giving me the tip of the cap was pretty fun, and just he's been so dominant all these years, and it's pretty cool what he's done for the game, and how he's impacted golf. So I've always looked up to him, and it's pretty cool that I met him at the PGA Championship and was able to take a good souvenir with a picture with him, and he's always been a huge idol of mine.
Great. I'll just remind any media, if we have anybody on the line that wants to ask a question, just type your name in here and we'll come to you. But in the meantime, we'll continue here, Thomas. You mentioned that you're a big golf nerd. Your words. What is there anything else that you do away from the golf course? I mean, obviously you follow golf all the time, and golf seems to be your life. Is there other interests that you have that keep you busy away from golf?
For me, other than golf, it's just sometimes maybe just go out with some friends for dinner. Nothing really crazy, just simple dinner with family or friends, and or go back home. Just watch some movies, watch some TV shows. To be honest, I watch a lot of PGA Tour highlights. That's what I watch a lot. Just because I don't know. For me, golf has always been in my blood, and I'm always trying to get better. So 90% of it is golf. I watch all these guys play out, but other than that, it's just really just just watching some movies. Good company, and just rest.
Right. So you're just starting out in your career. Looking ahead, I say to you, in 15 years' time, what would you like to have achieved? What are your major goals? What do you feel like you're capable of achieving?
I would obviously love to be world number one. That has always been like a goal, just because Tiger Woods was so dominant world number one for so many years. So that has always been like a major thing for me, world number one. I would obviously love to play on the PGA Tour. Win all 4 majors. Be in the Golf Hall of Fame. Just those big things would love to achieve. And I've always had that mindset ever since I started playing golf. So it's always with me.
Just one other question before we take you to the Corrales Golf Course. I want to get your opinion on that. But finally, it sounds like you've lived in a number of different countries. Can you tell us which countries you've lived in and how that came about? Is it because your parents moved around a little bit, or just what's that situation?
Yeah, I lived in China for a couple of years. That was because I think my parents were living there at the time before I was born. But I was born in South Korea, and then once I was born, I moved to China. And then I lived in Australia for 7 years. I think I went there to learn English, and just my parents moved there just because for me and my brother to pick up English, to pick up a foreign culture. And then I lived in the Philippines for 6 years. That was just because I think my parents moved there just because we learned English in Australia and everything, so it was a lot cheaper there to move in the Philippines. So we moved there for 6 years, and that's when I actually really picked up golf and started to play as a career. And then after the Philippines, once I turned pro, I moved to Thailand for a year and a half, and that's when I really took steps. I took steps up to turning professional and achieving a lot of things, and I moved to Korea after COVID. I'm based in Korea at the moment, but hopefully, I'm really looking forward to where my next destination is, and hopefully it's here in America.
How many passports have you been through?
What do you mean by passports?
How many passports do you have?
Oh,
Or
I
have
only
you
have
used?
one. I only have one. I only have one
Yeah,
South Korean. Yeah, yeah.
has it been renewed once or twice or three times?
Plenty of times. Plenty
Yeah.
of times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of places, a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Just coming to Punta Cana for the Punta Cana Resort and Club Championship here at Corrales. I'm guessing you've had a chance to see the golf course. Have you played all 18 holes already, and just some thoughts on the golf course?
Yeah, I played 9 holes yesterday and I played 18 today, and definitely just like I said, this course it's windy just because it's by the ocean. Very slopey greens, back nines long into the wind, so it's definitely positioning yourself and just kind of taking your medicine when you need to. That's what I've learned my past couple events. So I think that's my goal this week. Just play really smart. Take advantage when you can. Not to get too aggressive. Just play my own game, and that's always been me. Just do us and just stay really focused. And very you have to be hydrated this week. It's very hot, so
Yeah.
make sure you drink a lot of water and make sure your stamina doesn't go down too much. So that's the main goal. But other than that, the course is in great shape. Very slopey greens, as I said, and just missing on the right spots is really important this week.
Well, it's been a pleasure to get to know you a little bit better than we did before, and we appreciate your time coming in and sharing some of your insight as well, Thomas. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Okay, if you could just stay in the chair when you're ready, AJ.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, so how would you describe your experience on the PGA Tour so far?
네, 일단 PGA 투어 와가지고 확실히 좀 경험이 많이 좀 도움이 됐던 것 같아요. 좀 확실히 코스 상태나 이제 핀 꽂힌 데가 좀 많이 다른데 좀 훨씬 더 많이 어렵고 해서 좀 경험이 많이 돼서 확실히 PGA 투어가 조금 레벨도 다르고 이제 컷통과도 좀 다르고 이제 러프도 많이 달아서 조금 이제 제가 좀 많이 연습해야 되고 이제 뭐를 더 좋아져야 되는 부분을 좀 많이 배워서 확실히 좀 PGA 투어 시합 몇 개를 뛰어다 보니 조금 경험이 많이 경험이 되게 도움이 됐던 것 같고 더 앞으로 더 열심히 해야 된다는 거를 느꼈기 때문에 진짜 이 경험을 너무나 소중하게 생각합니다.
How is it different from playing the Asian Tour specifically?
네, 일단 확실히 또 이제 아시안 투어랑 치면서 이제 확실히 코스 길이도 그렇고 러프 길이도 그렇고 이제 핀 포지션이 확실히 다른 것 같아요. 이제 가끔씩 제가 조금 공격적으로 치는 편이기 때문에 확실히 좀 경험을 했고 배웠던 게 조금 가끔씩 진짜 이제 그냥 보기하고 확실히 그냥 실수할 때는 진짜 최소한 이제 타수를 안 잃고 이제 최소한 타수를 이제 아끼면서 치는 게 가장 제일 중요한 것 같아요. 좀 아시안 투어에 칠 때도 러프 빠져도 조금 핀 공략할 수 있지만 근데 PGA 투어 확실히 뭔가 좀 잘못 이제 안 좋은 곳을 가면 조금 되게 어렵더라고요. 그래서 확실히 그냥 실수할 때는 확실히 그냥 최소한 안전하게 치는 거고 이제 찬스 올 때는 확실히 잡아야 되는 걸 많이 느꼈기 때문에 이제 그런 걸 많이 다루면서 이제 느껴서 이제 연습을 그렇게 하고 이제 앞으로도 어디를 가도 이제 그런 경험을 많이 배웠기 때문에 이제 그거를 갖고 계속 꾸준히 쭉 이제 가려고 합니다.
Who's your favorite player on the PGA Tour? We know that you already mentioned you took a photo with Tiger at the PGA Championship.
네, 일단 타이거 우즈를 진짜 많이 보는 것 같아요. 이제 어렸을 때부터 큰 롤모델이었고 이제 어렸을 때부터 골프 시작하기 전에부터 이제 텔레비에서 봤기 때문에 좀 많이 이제 롤모델로 하는 것 같아요. 일단 골프에 너무나 큰 임팩트를 했고 이제 모든 선수들에게 이제 조금 골프 선수로서 이상형이죠. 일단 메이저도 많이 우승했고 시합도 많이 우승했기 때문에 진짜 저한테 제일 멋있고 이제 제일 닮고 싶은 선수인 것 같아요.
Just a couple more. What have you learned from playing out here on the PGA Tour so far?
네, 확실히 진짜 여기 치면서 좀 많이 확실히 게임 플랜을 잘 짜고 쳐야 되는 것 같아요. 핀도 이제 워낙 어려운데 꽂기 때문에 그냥 진짜 버디 공격도 중요하지만 가끔씩 진짜 안전하게 치는 것도 되게 중요한 것 같아요. 여기는 진짜 버디 치는 것도 중요하지만 이제 실수를 최선 줄일 수 있는 게 가장 중요해서 이제 그걸 많이 배웠고 이제 앞으로도 이제 더 많이 배워야 되지만 이제 그것만으로 배워도 진짜 많이 좀 도움이 많이 돼가지고 진짜 PGA 투어 확실히 올라면 좀 많이 안전하게 치고 또 공격 칠 수 있으면 공격 치고 이제 그렇게 하면서 좋은 성적을 찬스를 확실히 잡을 때 좋은 성적을 낼 수 있는 게 가장 중요한 것 같아요.
And finally, you've probably got a lot of goals out here on the PGA Tour being so young, but what are your goals and what is specifically your main goal as a golfer?
네, 이제 골프 선수로서 이제 꿈을 가지고 있는 거는 이제 메이저 4개 다 우승하고 싶고요. PGA 투어에 와서 이제 조금 되게 계속 매주마다 꾸준하게 잘 치는 선수고, 그리고 이제 홀 오브 페임에 꼭 들어가고 싶은 꿈을 갖고 있어요. 이제 어렸을 때부터 그걸 갖고 있었고, 이제 많은 선수들 그렇게 했기 때문에 이제 저도 그렇게 이제 거기 있는 선수들 닮고 싶어서 이제 노력 많이 하고 이제 그렇게 하려고 노력 많이 하겠습니다.
Okay, that's it. We're all done, Thomas. Thank you so much
All
for the
right.
time. It was really a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to meet you.
Thank you so much.